Nick Miller and Coach decide to be cops. That is literally what this movie is. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now, today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Let's Be Cops. This is an action comedy movie starring Jake Johnson and Damon Wayans Jr., two stars who are currently in New Girl, the Fox TV show, which I really enjoy. So, seeing this movie and seeing these two characters in the leads for this movie, it honestly did kind of feel like watching their characters from New Girl go into the city, maybe sometime in the future of the show, and just pretend to be cops for a few weeks. And it's actually quite an enjoyable movie, despite some flaws that I will mention. The movie is actually really funny. There are comedic moments that are not shown in the trailer, which I really liked seeing that fact. The movie does stand on its own 2 feet in that regard. There are parts in the film which I was laughing out loud just because it is a really funny movie in a lot of different points. Just the chemistry between the two actors is really solid just because of their time acting together in New Girl. I think that has a huge contributing factor to the fact that they did their roles really well. That being said, the movie can be somewhat boring at times. There were parts where I was looking at my watch, it's like, how much longer is there in this film? And it does kind of run a little bit long in its hour and 40-minute slot. The movie is essentially about two guys who decide one day to be cops. There is Jake Johnson's character, who has basically been doing nothing with his life for the last 8 years. And then there's Damon Wayans Jr.'s character, who is an assistant at a video game development company, and he has an idea for a game, which is kind of like a cop game, kind of like LA Noire, but not really LA Noire. It's like a cop-based game, but set in like a GTA-esque type of universe. And he has this idea, it gets just kind of shot down, and he's just kind of really miserable. He has a crush on a girl, obviously. And then they decide to go to a costume party, not a costume party, it's a masquerade party. And they have these outfits. They realize that people actually think that they're cops. And then Jake Johnson's character kind of takes it too far and actually makes them pretend that they're cops. And that's kind of where the movie goes from there. They get involved in something that's actually bigger than what they really want to deal with, and the movie kind of capitalizes. So in that regard, it is kind of predictable. You know more or less what's going to happen as it's going to happen. You know the twists, the turns, what is going to go down in this film. But there were some things which aren't usually in these buddy cop type of films, which I enjoyed seeing for the most part. There are some cameos. There are some really cool things in the movie that it does. That being said, it does not use the twist towards the end of the movie really effectively. There's a twist at the end, which I'm not going to really get into here, but it reveals it, and then it doesn't really do a whole lot with it. It does a little bit, but it doesn't really capitalize on it as much as it could have to make the movie a little bit cooler. The movie does get somewhat serious towards the end, though, which I really like. It does kind of stray away from the whole funniness of the film and kind of dives into, this is what would actually happen if two people decided to be cops, did not get caught, and were just going around and getting involved in this huge bad person thing that's happening. I did like that it actually didn't just be like, oh, these two guys aren't going to get in trouble at all, and then they actually do get into real serious trouble, and they kind of realize this, and they play off of what the reactions would actually be if this type of stuff actually happened. The ending to the movie, I'm not going to obviously spoil anything, but it does kind of set up a potential sequel, and I do kind of like that. Is this movie the next 21 Jump Street? No, probably not. But I could see there being a sequel, like Let's Be Cops Again, or something along those lines. And I like the ending of the movie. That's usually not something I've been able to say for most movies this summer, surprisingly. The movie wraps itself up really nicely in a bow, and then kind of sets up a potential sequel if the movie does well. Overall, I did enjoy Let's Be Cops. I thought it was a solid film. It has its flaws, but it's also very enjoyable just for a fun night with buddies to just watch a funny movie. That's my review. What did you think of Let's Be Cops? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it more than I did? Did you despise it a lot more than I did? Let me know. Like, fair, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.